Hey, this is Mitch. Welcome to my channel. Episode 2. It is not a shop cleanup or organization video. It is a video of the rebuild of this bandsaw I picked up for $75. It's nothing special. It's just a cheap Craftsman 12-inch bandsaw, but it was better than the one I had. I do have a soft spot for vintage Craftsman tools. I grew up using them. I used them as a mechanic. My dad used them and my grandfather used them. And if you're my age, you remember when they were made in the USA and they're a quality tool, and most everybody used them. So I had no issues investing a little money in this saw. Besides, my hard work was paying off. When I posted the video, I got an immediate offer for $85. So I was writing the counter offer when my wife walked in and told me that's probably a bad idea. Okay, back to the saw. So when I went to pick it up, it looked like you would expect a saw would look that had been sitting for 15 years. It was covered in crap sawdust. The tires were dry rotted. It didn't have a blade or a belt. But to my surprise, we plugged it in and the motor worked. So to me, it was worth the $75 price tag he was asking for it. It's really not much to these saws, so I wasn't too concerned. Now, I know in the first video I said that the quality would get better and I got new equipment. Unfortunately, this isn't the video where you see that. This is still shot on the iconic GoPro 3 Silver Edition. But what you will see if you pay attention to the video is some upgrading in the equipment that I use, such as the table saw. Not the one you see there on the right, but one to make an appearance later. Okay, I edited a lot of this out. This wheel was giving me trouble. It took me about 10-15 minutes to get it off. It was stuck on there pretty good. And not only was the wheel stuck, but so was the tracking adjustment. I don't have a heat gun, so this is a loop lighter I used to light a fire in my barbecue pit. And it worked pretty good, as you can see. And behind me you can see the mentioned table saw upgrade from earlier in the video. It is another Craftsman tool I found on Facebook Marketplace for a good price. And for the electric motor, I just did some basic housekeeping. Blew the sawdust and the dirt off of it. It seemed to be in pretty good working order, so I didn't want to mess with it. And now I'm giving the stand a quick wipe down with a tack cloth after a sanding. Getting ready to prime it and paint it. Start putting it back together. And I am making a color change from that dull black. I am going with a Krylon smoke gray. It just seems to be an appropriate color for vintage saws and tools. And I like it. And I really don't have to explain myself to you. Alright, getting down to business of putting this thing back together. Hey, if you're looking for something fun to do, install some urethane tires on your bandsaw. A flurry of F-bombs could be heard throughout my shop. Not a fun process, but a necessary one. And this is a rare sighting of my son, who decided to make a cameo appearance. As you can see, he offered me no help. All right, saw blades going on, getting close to cutting some wood. I enjoy doing work like this. I don't know if others out there do, but if you would leave a comment, I'm curious to see if more people think it's worth saving an old saw like this that they find cheap, or not hassle with it and just buy something new. I, for one, prefer to do it this way. I purchased this saw for $75. I believe I have another 60 in it in parts, which brings it to $135. That does not include gas to drive 15 minutes to pick it up. I had the primer, the paint, sandpaper, all that stuff from previous projects. I had them on hand, so that didn't cost anything for this. So for $135, I think it's a pretty good deal, especially since I didn't have a bandsaw before this. For those of you that have stuck it out to the 6-minute mark, I appreciate it. And we'll have more videos to come. Revamp that table saw, and I have a joiner coming up. And hopefully soon some wood projects. See you next time.